Bevin, we know that you've been learning a lot, so please share some of your wisdom with us. What are you talking about tonight?
It is my privilege. Thank you, Simon. And thank you, Festus and Alex. Wow, I did learn a lot. I really appreciate that. Well done. I have the privilege of talking about Notebook LM. All right. And I am so excited about it because I have been experimenting with so many tools. And I want you to know about this one because the the difference about this tool is where it's getting the information. All right. Most every other tool is going out into the whole of the internet and is trained on who knows what to get back the content that it's bringing you. And often it brings you an answer and there's no sources listed as to where it got that answer. So that is why I'm so excited about Notebook LM by Google, which is free, by the way. And it is so different because it creates a notebook, a box, where you put your content in it, and then it could be your writing or trusted resources that you have selected, and then you can interact with that. You can chat with all of that content and get answers, and then you can actually create a lot of great content from that. So I just want to give you a quick tutorial on that. And so this is what you'll see when you first come there. Oh, let me just set this up. All right, so when you first come, you'll see this page here, and it says, hey, you can understand anything. This is your research and thinking partner, grounded in the information you trust and built with the latest Gemini models. And you can, if you have a Gmail account, you can actually do that for free. Really cool. And then you can upload your sources. And it's all kinds of things. It can be PDFs, it can be websites, it can be YouTube videos, it can be audio files, Google Docs in your Google Drive, Google Slides. All of those things can be put in there in a notebook around. Usually you'd want to pick a topic and gather resources related to that and put it in that notebook. But then once you have that collection, you can actually create all kinds of insights based on that. Things like study guides, briefing documents, audio podcasts, video explainer videos. I'm going to show you examples of some of these things. But it's just great also in that when you chat with that, you have created your notebook, you have your list of sources, and you can actually chat in there and say, okay, out of all these, for example, resources on leadership, can you give me the top 3 themes about transformational leadership? And then it'll actually create a summary of those things, but you'll see that it has a little link that can take you to exactly where that quote is in the original document. And of course, it creates then the added benefit of things like audio overviews for those of us who like to learn by listening. Very natural sounding conversations that summarize all the content that you can have up to, you can have up to 50 resources in there on the free plan. Let me see if I can get to behind here. Okay, so here we are looking in my collection of notebooks. And so one thing you could do right here is when you come in, you have one that says create a notebook.
Bevin, I
Yes.
don't think it changed.
Okay.
There, that's better. Yeah.
Okay. So you would you click on create a notebook. Are you seeing this? And then at the top here is one that actually is, I want you to be aware of. It's called Discover Sources. So you could say, give me great a collection of resources on best practices for fundraising. Okay. And then it'll actually, you can submit that and it'll actually go out there and you can then look at this list of resources and select the ones that are out there. Fundraising, top 60 fundraising strategies, and you could import those into your NotebookLM notebook and start to chat with that and draw out themes from all of this resources. Now that is using the tool that goes and finds resources from the internet. I don't usually use that. I usually go and here I create a new notebook and then I just add my chosen resources. The YouTube videos I've been interested in, my documents. I just finished a master's course and I wrote a thesis that was over 100 pages long, and nobody's going to read that thing. But I put that thesis in here, and then I'm able to interact with that and create content, including podcasts and videos based on that content. So I want to show you an example of that. One that's really relevant for us is actually recently there was a magazine that came out called Mission Frontiers. Let's see if I can actually, okay. Mission Frontiers is a great magazine, and their most recent issue was all about the impact of AI on missions, right? This is really relevant for us as believers. And yet, and there's so many articles in there, including a great article by Keegan and myself and Brother Simon, all kinds of great stuff in there, right? But many of us are not actually going to read all of this. So what I did was I actually, created a notebook here, and all of those articles, each one of them is in that notebook, right? These are all the articles that I should read. I probably won't. And then I'm able to just here, you can see it's actually going to allow you to chat with that and say, what are the top 5 opportunities for cross-cultural workers from this content? This is probably a better question I could ask, but let's see what we get. And I don't have to spell everything correctly. And then it's going to actually go there and go through all of those documents and find 5 principles, 5 opportunities that I should know about as a cross-cultural worker. So it's saying accelerated language acquisition and translation, number 1 on the list. Enhance cultural understanding. Creation of contextualized content, yes. Educational materials, yes. Scalable evangelism and outreach in restricted regions, yes. All kinds of amazing stuff that I should know about it. But you'll see here there is a link. So if I want to know where this is just the summary, where it came from, I can click that and it'll take me to where that is in the original document. So super cool. But that's not all. Over here in the studio side is the amazing tools, tools that can take all of that content and create great things with. So I want to show you one that is just listen in on a audio podcast, basically, that is informed by all of these resources. Again, it's not going out into the internet. It's only interacting with what I put in that notebook. But this is how nice it sounds.
Welcome to the deep dive. We've gathered the articles, the surveys, the field reports you sent over, and today we're really diving into this fascinating, almost paradoxical situation, how artificial intelligence is being adopted, sometimes resisted, but definitely used by Christian mission agencies across the globe.
It really is a paradox.
Yeah.
And, starting with new tech, there's always that friction, isn't there?
Absolutely. One of the sources kicked off with this great little story about a Nigerian editor back in 1999.
Anyway, so that's a podcast, but then recently it's released this ability to make explainer videos. So the podcast would be more like 10, 12 minutes. The explainer videos are more like 6 minutes. And so here's an example of one.
All right, let's talk about a transformation that is happening right now at the intersection of faith and technology. I'm talking about artificial intelligence. And look, this isn't some far-off sci-fi concept anymore. It's here, and it's acting as a massive catalyst, changing the very fabric of how Christian missions are being done all over the world. To really get to the heart of this, I want you to just picture something. This comes from one of our sources, and it's a really powerful image. Think about a young mother, somewhere totally isolated, maybe feeling completely alone. It's the middle of the night, and she types into her phone in her own language a simple question: is there hope? And for her, the answer came from an AI, not a person, not a pamphlet, but an AI-driven conversation, ready to engage with her right then and there, 24/7. This is exactly how this technology is reaching into some of the most restricted and difficult to access places on Earth, where traditional methods just can't go. So this is a huge topic, right? How do we even begin to wrap our heads around it? Well, we're going to break it down into 4 main parts.
All right, so, this is an explainer video that then, if it's not exactly what you're wanting to do, you can actually tell it, focus in on this. But this point right now, I'm running out of time, but I want you to make sure that you understand that in this latest version of NotebookLM, they have given us the ability to create content in 80 different languages. 80 different languages. So once you have the content that you like, you can actually say, give me this in Urdu, give me this in Nepali, give me this in Korean, give me this in Mandarin. And I have been sending the results to my friends who speak those languages, and they are saying it is great. In many cases, it's only a few things that need to be tweaked. And so it really has this powerful potential to allow us to create content for speakers of in other languages. So for my brother Alex, I tried out Ukrainian here, and he can tell us how it did.
Штучний інтелект і християнські місії. На перший погляд, що може бути спільного? Здається, це 2 паралельні всесвіти. Але, як ми сьогодні побачимо, вони перетинаються. І цей перетин, він змінює все. Це розмова про майбутнє, яке насправді вже тут. Усе починається з однієї людини. Уявіть собі, глибока ніч, тиша, десь у віддаленому селі. Молода мама, зневірена, втомлена, бере в руки телефон і простою мовою, своєю рідною мовою пише «Чи є надія?». Саме тут, у цьому тихому крику про допомогу, і починається наша історія. Технологія перестає бути просто технологією, вона стає каналом надії. Тож, як саме це працює?
All right, what do you think, Alex? How did it do?
Yeah, it's very nice and even text without any mistakes, so it's really cool.
Wow. Okay. So you can see the potential for actually creating content. Once you have something that's your content, trusted resources, then you can create it. And if you are a leader working cross-culturally, you can actually, in many cases, get it into at least the trade language of the people that you're trying, that are in that region. And so there is an app that works on your phone. It's not as many features there, but what's great about it is that you can actually, on the phone, you can actually say, give me, loading up for you. But say you found a resource that's about how to introduce people to Jesus using your mobile phone, right? You want to say, oh, I want to put that in a notebook and collect all kinds of things about how to do evangelism online. And so you just click then share, and there it is your ability to add it to a notebook in using your phone, and that or existing one. And so that is a great feature that you can use with your mobile phone. Let's see if I missed anything. I think that is the main things I wanted you to see, is that you can, and by the way, there is the feature called reports. It actually can make study guides, it can make briefing documents, it can make mind maps, it can make really nice flashcards for learning a subject. There's so many possibilities in terms of text output. I just featured the audio output and the video output as well. But 80 languages, and it's not just going out into the internet to grab this content. It's your trusted resources that you put in your notebook. So great tool. I'm using it all the time, and I recommend it to you highly.